nice to have a bit of a guide. Okay. All right. See if you can see. Well, you can see where the sticky tape's been. So I've actually marked that inside here because we've got a cut going all the way around. And then we take this piece out, and I'll show you a couple of ways of doing that. Okay, so now I've cut round and increased the size of the cut into that. Several ways you can take that waste out. I'll show you a couple, and then you make your mind up from there. The first way is you can use a router. I've got a very, very small, thin bit in here, as you can see. And what I've done, I've set the depth. I've done a depth cut in a piece of wood. So the depth is going to be equal to the thickness of this veneer. So if I slide that in there, I shouldn't feel much difference. I'll double check to make sure that I've got the right depth. That's one way, and I'll do that in a tick. The other way is you can just use a knife and start in the middle and just gouge away until you break through the veneer. I'll put it down and do it. And this is one reason I really like hide glue, because when it comes out in, there you go, one nice chunk. Whereas if you're using a PVA, I find it is an absolute mongrel to take out. So what we'll do, and the other way is one of these fellas. And again, I've set the tool depth to the thickness of the veneer, so it'll go down as far as I want it. I use a combination of basically all three techniques, and we might as well do it to this one now. So hang on to your hats. Okay, I'm going to be cutting in to the veneer here using the router that I better plug in. And appropriate safety gear. These things are awesome. They're ear muffs and eye protection in one. Called eye muffs. Check them out online. Eye muffs. Okay. And down we go. Turn it on, Dodo. Okie dokie. But what I've done to this, you'll notice it's not an ordinary trimmer. I've added this base plate to it, and all it is a lump of Perspex I've just screwed on to the existing base and then added a brass draw knob. And what that does, it just gives me so much more control over using the router itself, instead of just hanging on to it with one hand and hoping for the best. So that's a little project. Again, you can go to a Perspex place, or what's the other thing? Plexiglass. And they must let you give you the scrap. The other thing I've got, which is really handy, is if you can notice I've got holes here, and what I use those for is if I want to cut any circles out, I just measure from the tool bit to there, drill a hole, and then it's a question of putting it down on the deck, hanging on to that and just spinning it, and you get a perfect circle every time. Okay, so let's hope that's the end of the noisiness for the day. With the old woman's tooth, I come in and just take it out to that line. And with this, you just go very, very gently. And you can see it just breaks away like that. Now, if you start to get a little bit concerned, you think, oh, you know, what happens if I slip and take it too far? That's how we're looking at the moment. But, you know, you might think, oh, no, what happens if I go under here and lift this veneer? Easy peasy. Then you just go real old school, grab the knife, and just go like this with the knife, and you'll get there in the end. But you see how nice and clean that is. Whereas if we had PVA on it, not only would it be gumming up your route a bit, it still leaves residue on the substrate underneath, which is just yuck. I think that's just about got it all. All right, now the acid test. We'll see how this looks in there. And you can see that fits in there quite nicely without any white gaps showing. So what we'll do now is glue it in. That's if my glue's done. Oh, it's almost there. Make sure you got the right way. That's the back, because that's where the hinge is going. This is the front, because that's the way I want the shell to go. And then you just lay it in there, and if I run my finger over that, I can tell that's spot on. It's got the thickness of a piece of sticky tape over it, which is what I want. I've got no sticky tape on the back, because I don't want that. Then. Now you can use whatever greaseproof paper. This is oven bake. I used to use wax sandwich wrap, which was my preferred option, but they don't make it anymore. So I've just got to put up with what I can get. Here we go. So you can tell that's pretty warm. That's actually at 70 degrees, which is what I want. And I just paint glue in there. And I'll paint some glue on the back. And plonk it in there. And then this is a small veneer hammer, as opposed to the big one I used the other week. I'm not worried about excess glue really. That's inlaid there. I put some sort of non-stick paper on the front, put that on the back, put that behind that, put this back in the glue pot, and pop it in the vise here. You could say, oh, that's good enough. But to me, it's boring. It needs to be lifted, because the definition between the motif in here and the box, it's pretty mute. It doesn't have any clear lines of definition. So what I'm going to do is show you how to put a line all the way around that.